that absolutely abused him when he faced them out in San Francisco on July 3rd. The numbers from his last big league appearance, a relief outing against the Nationals back on the 11th of July.
Velez takes the first pitch. It is strike one. Velez, a torrid leadoff man right now. 309 batting average, 1 homer, 7 runs batted in, 10-game hitting streak. Last night he was 2 for 5. And it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. In that game at San Francisco, July 3rd, Paulino gave up 9 hits and 9 runs, 8 of them earned in 2 innings. He was absolutely shelled that night. Velez fouls it back, 1 ball and 2 strikes. He throws hard. That fastball came in at 96 miles per hour.
And left-handers have been a problem for him. Lefty's hitting .372 against him. And the other thing that jumps out at you is the home runs. He's allowed 13 long balls in just 55 innings of work. But if you disregard all the numbers and just look at the stuff, it's top of the rotation kind of stuff. Mid to upper 90s fastball, hard breaking pitch. Just a matter of commanding those pitches and learning how to execute the game plan at the big league level consistently.
Velez looks at that pitch for ball 3, and it's a full count. Velez has been the hottest hitter for the Giants lately. During his 10-game hitting streak, he's hit .439, scored 7 runs, had a couple of doubles, a homer, and 7 runs batted in. .448 in the last 7 for Eugenio Velez, a former second baseman, now recast as an outfielder with injuries to the Giants outfield. He smacks one on the ground. There's Matsui with a flip to Chris Coast. Good play, 1 out. Now Freddie Sanchez comes up. The Giants won the first 11 games they ever played in this ballpark. There's the play by Matsui.
It's a great look at an infielder getting ready, up on the balls of the feet, hands down low, good lateral movement, staying down.
Sanchez, 1 hit last night. Takes strike 1. That was his second game as a Giant. .297 for the season for the former Pirates. 6 homers, 36 driven in. Part of an all-new right side of the infield obtained in trades, along with Ryan Garco at first base. 0-2 for Paulino.
Beautiful breaking ball.
And it's 1-2. The Giants winning their first 11 games here at Minute Maid Park, which opened in 2000. They are now 21-12 at this ballpark, but they've lost 5 in a row here, and they've dropped 7 of their last 8. And on the road, they're a different team this season. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They've dropped 10 of their last 13 road games. They're 21-32 away from AT&T Park. Here's Bochy's club looking for more hitting on the road. Bouncer, Paulino. 2 down for the big man.
Fox Sports Houston has a Twitter page. Expand your sporting network at twitter.com/FS Houston. Greg will be tweeting away.
Now it's Pablo Sandoval. He walks out a few steps in front of the plate. .327 for Pablo, 16 homers, 64 runs batted in, high on base average. Tied for 6th in the league in hits with 124. He really swings the bat. Backs out of there on ball 1. He was 3 for 5 last night with an RBI. This is his 26th start in a row for the Giants. He has not missed an inning in that period of time.
And such an important piece for them because they don't have a lot of power. And that's one of the reasons why they're so much better at home than on the road. They play in a very big ballpark, and that neutralizes other teams' power advantage. On the road, not so much.
Fouls that one. It's 2-1. Sandoval, in his first 140 games as a major leaguer, has hit .329 with 19 homers, 87 runs batted in. He made his debut right here last year, just about a year ago, on August 14th. Fouls it away. It's 2-2, and he's been the offensive leader as far as driving in runs because Molina, who's on deck to back cleanup, has really fallen off at the plate. Giants have even discussed, as Bruce Bochy said, he and general manager Brian Sabian dropping Molina out of the cleanup spot to try to get something going with this Giants lineup. it's 3-2. 16 pitches here for Paulino in the first inning. And he has a 2-out walk to Sandoval. Sandoval's 28th base on balls of the year. Now Benji Molina. Molina, who drove in 95 last year, is at 258 for this season. 11 homers, 53 runs driven in with a 268 on base average. That is the worst among major league starting players. He looks at strike one. Molina 1 for 4 last night. He drove in a run in that game. He's hitting 155 with men in scoring position and 2 outs. The Giants really would like to see this big fella return to top form. 1-1.
Yeah, the problem is they don't have so many other options. I guess now that they've got Ryan Garco, they could think about slipping him into the cleanup spot.
Two balls and a strike. Garco's on deck right now. Giants ranked 14th in runs scored in the National League.
It's all about pitching for the Giants.
Yes, it is. They have been spectacular at pitching. Off the mask of Quintero. That makes it a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Paulino, a while back at AAA Round Rock, had pretty good numbers. Made 3 starts since he was optioned to Round Rock on July 15th, and he had a 3.86 ERA in those games. He's made 5 total starts this year in AAA, going 1-0 with a 2.28 ERA for the Round Rock Express. Foul back, still 2-2 to Molina.
Well, Paulino, a big guy. He doesn't necessarily take advantage of his height. He doesn't get a lot of downward action on his fastball. And I shouldn't say he doesn't. He doesn't consistently. Sometimes that release point will drop on him a little bit, and that fastball will flatten out. When he gets on top, it's a little bit higher arm angle. That's when he's at his best.
Now 3-2 again. So he's had 3 full counts and a 2-2 count to the first 4 batters. 23 pitches in the first inning for Paulino. But he's young and strong.
Oh, yeah, he's the worst he can go on.
Born in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. He was signed out of Venezuela by the Astros.
Sandoval took the walk there. Molina's probably hacking, as you mentioned. He doesn't walk.
He hits one to left center field. Sandoval will go home on this as Michael Bourne picks it up, gets it back in. Tim Flannery sending him home. Here's a relay from Matsui to Quintero. It's 1-0 Giants. RBI double by Molina.
And when I was talking about Felipe at the start of the ball game, I talked about the maturation of a young pitcher and how all the tools of this stuff is certainly big league, top of the rotation type stuff, but it's learning how to navigate your way around a lineup, who you should give into, who you do not need to give into, and that was a great example there. Molina's walked it 6 times all year, and so he's likely to be swinging there. So you don't have to give in and challenge him over the heart of the plate. Go ahead and try to make your pitch. You don't have to bounce a breaking ball, but try to make the perfect pitch with a fastball or throw him a breaking pitch towards the outside edge.
Ryan Garco gets a hook and takes it for ball 1.
And that's one where the catcher could really pay off there too. Trotton out there before that 3-2 pitch. Hey, remember, this guy hardly ever walks. So you don't need to give in. Don't assume the pitcher is aware of the situation.
1-1. Garco, good game last night. Couple of hits, an RBI, a walk, and he was hit by a pitch. You see the progression of his offensive output in the last 3 years. 61 runs batted into 90 for Cleveland. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And as far as the Giants improving offensively on the road, Bruce Bochy is hoping that the 2 new players in the lineup, Freddie Sanchez and Ryan Garco, will help with that. They've both done well. And the Giants tweaking their offense a little bit. Didn't exactly get a power hitter and a cleanup man, but they think that they have an upgrade offensively to be able to help their pitching staff, give them a little more working room. Protects and he fouls it. Still a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Throwing hard. There's not been an issue with him. Location has, and gets the ball down. Really tough. Smack to left center field. Michael Bourne with a long run for this one. And on the warning track, he makes a running catch. To limit the Giants first to 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 man left. Astros coming up. Jonathan Sanchez headed for the hill with a 1-0 Giants lead. Out, courtesy of AT&T, with Michael Bourne leading it off in center field. Kazuo Matsui's at second base. Hunter Pence plays right field, batting third. The Astros have a very good record with him in the 3 spot. It's Carlos Lee in left field. Miguel Tejada's a shortstop. Chris Coast at first base. Jeff Keppinger plays third. Alberto Quintero, the battery mate for Felipe Paulino.
Jonathan Sanchez, we talked about Paulino home and road. Check out these numbers. Sanchez in San Francisco, 4-1 with a 3.26 on the road, winless, and an ERA of 6.33.
Michael Bourne takes the first pitch. It is strike 1 for Sanchez. 288 for Michael, 3 homers, 27 runs batted in, a 360 on base average. Third baseman Sandoval in on the grass. Sanchez goes to a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Jonathan pitched 2 scoreless innings in relief in San Francisco against the Astros July 3rd. He is 0-2 lifetime against Houston despite a 2.89 ERA. This is there, and the count goes to 2-1, but he was spectacular on that night at home against San Diego July 10th. A no-hitter with no walks, 11 strikeouts. As JD mentioned, only an error. The third baseman prevented him from perfection that night. He opened the season as the number 5 starter. Then he was sent to the bullpen in late June and came back to the rotation when Randy Johnson was hurt.
Yeah, when we got out there, he had just been sent to the bullpen. There was a lot of talk about Sanchez being traded. The Giants had grown frustrated with him, a kid with a good arm, couldn't seem to put it together. And then he had that magical night. Since then, he's been okay, not great. 4.9, 4.81 ERA. Fairly improbable candidate to pitch a no-hitter this year. It's kind of fun, though. Walks have been a problem for him. So patience is the key for the Astros tonight.
The streak is over. And 30 innings without drawing a walk. Michael Bourne draws one, his 46th of the year.
Well, we'll take a look at the Giants defensively now. Velez, Rowan, and Wynn in the outfield. Sandoval's at third. Renteria shortstop. Freddie Sanchez at second. Ryan Garco's the first baseman. Benji Molina behind the plate. Teams have been doing a lot of running on the Giants, and surprisingly so, a lot on this guy. You figure a lefty, he'd be tough to run on, but that has not been the case. 16 steals, just 2 caught with Sanchez on the hill.
Caswell Matsui ripped a big homer last night, showing bunt. Ball 1, 254 for Caswell, 5 homers, 27 runs batted in. His home run was off the right field foul pole, gave the Astros a 3-2 lead in the 6th inning. They went on to win 4-3. And the fact that it was off the foul pole, sponsored by Chick-fil-A, meant that everybody with a ticket stub could take that in for a free chicken sandwich today. Runner going with a good break. Molina's throw not nearly in time. An easy steal from Michael Bourne, the 39th for the National League leader.
He goes on first move, and he's safe even if it's a forced play.
Yes, he is.
So obviously the advance reports on Sanchez are that he doesn't have a good move, and it looked like he may perhaps breaks the plane of the rubber with his leg kick, and once he does that, he can't come to first.
Slots that one in for strike 2.
Or it would be a balk.
Yeah. Bourne at second. Matsui with Hunter Pence on deck, hoping to make contact here on a 1-2 pitch. Matsui's been better as a right-handed batter this season, hitting .310 from this side of the plate. That one he chased for a strike. 95 for Sanchez on the heater away.
Kind of a short arm delivery, kind of pushes the ball towards home plate, but at 95 miles an hour, he's got a good heater. Curveball and changeup. Left-handed hitters receive mostly fastballs and curveballs. Righties, fastballs and changeups, and the occasional curve.
Hunter Pence was 1 for 4 last night. That was a triple in the 8th inning, and he scored the 4th run after that. Spin back towards second base by Sanchez. Wayne Kuiper does Giants television. You see Hunter's numbers: 292, 13 homers, 43 runs batted in. And the Giants wanted Sanchez to rotate more, turn his back on the hitter a little bit more to give his arm a chance to catch up with his body. That was one of the adjustments he made when he went to the bullpen. Hit to the right side. Sanchez fields the one hopper, flips over to Garco. 2 outs. Bourne to third base. And after the no-hitter, Sanchez was interviewed and said he'd been working on getting his legs into his delivery more in the bullpen with the pitching coach Dave Righetti, and then coming out of the bullpen, making that start as he returned to the rotation through a no-hitter. Carlos Lee is next. Everett Cabrera was the final out of that no-hitter July 10th.
First no-hitter for the Giants in 33 years.
Big night in San Francisco.
His pitching coach Dave Righetti, he threw one of those for the Yankees back in 1983, I think. 84, somewhere back then. George Steinbrenner's birthday, July 4th.
Oh, yeah. 311 for Carlos, 18 homers, 65 runs batted in. He credited Matt Cain with having excellent stuff last night. Carlos going 3 for 4 with an RBI in that game. And hits the last 3 times up. It's 2 balls, no strikes. He has 123 hits now. That's 8th in the league for Carlos.
Big 2-out RBI in the bottom of the 8th. He provided a little insurance run that came in handy.
12th 3-hit game. In the dirt. 3-0 for Jonathan Sanchez. Well, you're right, that was indeed unexpected. He was removed from the rotation with a 2-8 record, a 5.54 ERA. Came back and threw a no-hitter. Now And the intentional walk will bring up Miguel Tejada.
That's kind of the neat thing. It's such a unique deal to throw a no-hitter. And for instance, Roger Clemens never threw a no-hitter in the big leagues. But Jonathan Sanchez, as Bobo Holloman did in his first major league start, finished his career with 5 or 6 wins.
Yeah.
Bud Smith of the Cardinals a number of years ago, one of his first major league starts, no-hitter, never heard from again.
That one shining game, though. Always be remembered. Miguel Tejada, 324, 9 homers, 63 runs batted in. And he leads the league in hits and multi-hit games and doubles. Has runners at first and third and 2 outs here. Miggy last night was 0 for 4. Stands him up, and it's ball 1. Tejada had an 8-game hitting streak, but the Giants stopped that last night. Now looking for a big 2-out delivery here. Chris Costa on deck. Sanchez, 26 years old, from Puerto Rico, in Mayagüez. He went to college at Ohio Dominican, an NAIA school, where he threw 4 no-hitters. And in fact, in 2008, he pitched a good game against the Astros, but lost to Brandon Backey 3-1. He had a no-hitter through 5 innings in that one. Gave up 2 runs in 7 innings.
Got a no-hitter now.
Fly ball left field. And it's caught. Velez back. He played the ball very well for a guy who's had little time in left field in this ballpark. And it's no runs, no hits. 2-man left. 1-0 Giants.
Come out to see the Astros All-Stars Hunter Pence and Miguel Tejada take on the Brewers on Friday at 7:05. Get to the game early, as the first 10,000 fans will receive a retro workout T-shirt courtesy of the Methodist Bone and Joint Center. And stick around after the game for Friday night fireworks presented by Marathon Oil Corporation. For more information, go to Astros.com. Brownie?
1 to Randy Wynn. Thanks, Bart. And Wynn taking the breaking ball. Starts the night at 265. 2 homers, 42 runs batted in. Giants leading at 1-0. And facing lefty Mike Hampton last night from his weaker side of the plate. He's hitting .296 as a left-handed batter, .165 right-handed. He went 0 for 3 with a walk last night. The Astros made a couple good plays on him. It's a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
There's Bochy with 3 switch hitters in his lineup tonight, and it gives him a lot of flexibility.
And looks at it, it's 2-2. Wynn has just 1 hit in his last 15 at bats, and he's 2 for 24. Cubs lead the Reds 1-0 at the end of 5 at Great American Ballpark. Tom Gorzolani making his Cubs debut against Johnny Cueto.
Welcome back, Tom.
Yeah. Been pitching well at AAA. Was traded in that deal from Pittsburgh to Chicago, along with John Grabo. He's taking Kevin Hart's spot in the rotation. Hart will be in the Pirates rotation. Foul ball, or is it? Carlos Lee back into the corner and left, deep into that corner. It is a foul ball. As Carlos pursues it, but is unable to make the catch. Not much room out there.
Now and into that left field corner. If you pursue all the way into that corner and it kicks back by you, it's going to turn into an easy triple for a guy like Randy Wynn. But a foul ball, so no harm done.
He's the kind of hitter who does come up with a lot of triples. He has 5 this year. And of course, AT&T Ballpark conducive to triples too, with wide open spaces. He bounces this one. Diving Chris Coase can't keep it from going into right field for a Randy Wynn single. Hit number 2 for the Giants. Wynn's aboard for Aaron Rowan.
Wynn, one of the real veterans on this Giant club, an older player, but still can run a little bit. Stolen 10 bases this year, been caught just once. They do not have a lot of team speed.
Rowan was 0 for 4 in last night's game. 277, 9 homers, 42 driven in. The Giants took 5 called third strikes from Mike Hampton last night. They struck out 8 times in the game. Rowan looks at ball 1. They stranded 10. They had 11 hits, but they lost 4-3. Chicago Cubs, we mentioned leading 1-0. The Cubs now tied with St. Louis, actually 1 percentage point ahead for the NL Central lead. Cardinals were off yesterday. They are playing at New York tonight. It is their fate to come up against lefty Johan Santana.
They're beating him 4-3 in the middle innings.
He has been nails at home this year. Ryan Ludwig hit his 18th for St. Louis. Over the mound, difficult play here for Matsui. Gets to it, throws to Coase. Oh, not hit hard at all, and wins the second.
When you talk about getting in a hitter's kitchen, wow.
Barely made it out.
Yeah.
From the second base.
Watch this. This heater rides in on him. Yeah, that bat is shattered. Strong guy, big swing, but it doesn't go very far when you hit it with the handle.
No, you saw the pieces he left behind. Now Edgar Renteria batting. Renteria 256, 2 homers, 39 runs batted in, 2 for 4 last night. He was thrown out at the plate in the second inning last night by Hunter Pence in one of the key outs of the game for the Astros.
Yeah, I thought Edgar was a little tentative on that play. Not really committed as he rounded third base.
Hitting only 197 his last 23 games. And taking strike 1 there. Pitcher Jonathan Sanchez is on deck. Good
solid
career.
Credentials, yep. I was thinking the same thing. Good solid ball player for a long time now. The reputation as being a real good clutch hitter. Not sure I buy that whole clutch hitter thing, but it's one of those deals as a ball player, you get a label put on you and it stays forever.
Well, he was in Game 7 of the World Series for Florida in '97.
That's the deal. You get one big hit in the postseason. Man, that guy's money under pressure.
That's true. That can stay with you for a long time. That could be a reputation maker.
Sabermeticians have done all kinds of studies of basically saying that there really is no such thing as a clutch hitter.
Yeah. He's been on 6 postseason clubs. Whacks it into left field. Wynn was breaking back to second base. He gets to third on the single by Renteria, bringing up the pitcher Jonathan Sanchez.
Well, time now for a batting stance guy. Whose swing is he imitating here? Log on to Fox Sports Houston's Twitter page and make your guess. Greg Lucas will have the answer on Astros Live after the game. Biceps aren't quite big enough.
No, not quite.
Nor is the head.
Jonathan Sanchez has 3 sacrifice bunts. He has no hits in 23 at bats. Keppinger moving in at third base. As he bunts it toward the first baseman, Chris Coast, it rolls foul. And there's strike 1 to Sanchez. Felipe Paulino trying to settle in here.
And Matt Cain up there last night with the bases loaded was bunting, and not a squeeze. Same thing here. It's kind of like a safety squeeze. Runner on third base just reading the bunt. Randy Wynn coming down the line, analyzing the play. And that was kind of fun as that ball teetered by the foul line. Watch Coast what he had to contemplate, and Randy Wynn was about halfway down the line keeping an eye on it.
Keppinger moving in again, and this one's high. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Giants will call up Joe Martinez to pitch tomorrow afternoon at 1:05. He's been in AAA, and he'll be pitching against Brian Moeller. Martinez took a line drive off his head and had a fractured skull back in April. A ball hit by Mike Cameron. Bunted out in front of the dish. Paulino, bare hands, throws to Matsui. And that's a sacrifice for Sanchez for out number 2 from 1-4. What's on tap of the Astros is brought to you by Bud Light. And it's Joseph Martinez and Brian Moeller. Joseph pitched in 2 games for the Giants earlier this season. And Brian Moeller 7-6 with a 4.99 ERA. Brian coming off a very good game. That was the Astros 4-3 loss in St. Louis, but he gave up 2 runs at 6 2/3, was not involved in the decision on Friday. Eugenio Velez grounded out to second. Sharply hit ball as he led off the game. Quintero and Paulino talk it over here. Giants have won 8 of 12. Their loss last night here slipped them a half game behind Colorado in the wild card race. And they're 7 behind front running Los Angeles Dodgers, who also lost last night as Milwaukee won in Los Angeles. Now the Mets have the lead 6-4 after 3 in the 5th inning over the Cardinals. That's ball 1 to Velez. Joel Pinheiro, who's been doing so well for the Cardinals but not getting too many wins, had the run support, but now he just surrendered the lead. And Santana's given up 4 runs in 5 innings. Both pitchers off their games tonight at Citi Field. It's 2-0 to Velez. On the disabled list, Nate Shearholz, who was playing outfield for the Giants some of the time, and also Andres Torres is on the DL. That left an opening, and Velez has moved up to take that opening in left field. Swings at that breaking ball after watching a couple of them go by, and it's 2 balls and a strike.
It's just a case there of a hitter convincing himself he's going to get a fastball and a fastball count. Cue wise to it. So, let's try another breaking pitch here. Got a 3 swinger. He's probably guessing heater. Got a base open. If we guess wrong and he takes it, we end up walking him. No biggie.
Now 2-1. Freddie Sanchez on deck. That's 3 balls and a strike. The Giants are hitting .270 with runners in scoring position at 2 outs as a team. That is excellent. They had problems coming up with clutch hits last night. This is the 4th 3-ball count for Paulino. This one into right field will score Wynn, and Renteria stops as the throw comes in on 1 bounce. 2-0 Giants. RBI single Velez, 11-game hitting streak. That's his 8th run batted in.
A long time prior to that pitch, and Paulino and Q couldn't get together, couldn't decide. Paulino shaking Q off. And Q a little frustrated. You can tell by his body language. Trying to go down and away with the fastball. And that's been the problem for Felipe when he's got knocked around up here. Tends to just lean back and try to throw as hard as possible instead of locating the fastball. And once he learns to maybe take a little off, get a little movement, and be a little more precise with his command, he'll have more success.
Ready, Sanchez, the batter, runners at first and third, 2 outs as he fouls it for strike 1.
Sometimes it takes a while to figure that out because when you have an arm like Paulino, you have a lot of success in the minor leagues pitching this way. Just go ahead and hit it, boys, and they can't catch up to it. A little different scenario here at the big league level.
Sanchez takes it. And it's a 1-1 count to Freddie. Freddie missed 6 games in a row with an inflamed left knee. And there was one story about him today that he would have to reach 600 plate appearances to kick in his option for next year. And would have to play almost every game to do that. But the Giants say they plan to pick it up anyway. 2 balls and a strike. Don't want him around. He's 31 years old. He's been a good player for years. Now Dewey Robinson out to the mound. Paulino is working hard tonight. 53 pitches into his game. It's at that tipping point right now. 2-0 Giants. Paulino slams the door here. The Astros have a much better chance of coming from behind as they did last night. Sandoval's on deck. Marlins lead the Nationals 3-0 in the bottom of the 6th at Washington. Josh Johnson on the mound. Marlins 5 games over 500 at 55-50. Cody Ross hit his 18th, and Josh Johnson hit number 3 himself. All the way, and it's 2-2. The Astros will be meeting up with Florida in a few days. 4-game series at Florida. Just chatting with LaTroy Hawkins before the game tonight. He's hopeful that he can come off the 15-day disabled list for the final game of that series at Florida. Up the right field line into the seats. Lance Berkman still trying to work his way back. He would be eligible to come off the DL on Friday, but that might not happen.
I would put that at less than a 50% chance of happening. And depending on how long he lingers on the DL, if he stays out a while longer, he may have to go on a rehab assignment.
Generally, the Astros' preference, somebody who's been out for a couple of weeks. Ground ball to third. Keppinger to second to Matsui for the forced play on Velez. The Giants make it 2-0 with a run on 3 hits. They strand a couple. Bottom of the 2nd coming your way now. right here it's 2-0 as Jonathan Sanchez, unaware of that development, works the bottom of the second to Chris Coast. And delivers. There's strike one to Coast. 241 for Chris. 2 homers, 13 runs batted in. He's had 43 at bats with Houston, a 233 average. It's an Astro. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. NL West, an interesting race, although the Dodgers would love to run away and hide. But with Colorado in that wild card leader spot right now by a half game over the Giants, there are 3 teams who are thinking about possibilities for postseason.
Yeah, not so much the other 2 teams in that division. Ooh, good breaking pitch.
Yes, it was. Second strikeout for Sanchez.
Diamondbacks are 18 games out of first place. Padres 21.5 games back.
President Obama's birthday's today. Didn't know that.
Yeah, 48 years old today. Roger Clemens. Dollar Bill Bradley, not the other Dollar Bill Bradley. Billy Bob Thornton. Nicolas Jacques Conte. He invented the pencil.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder how he did that. That would be an interesting story. Jeff Keppinger, 264, 3 homers, 18 runs batted in. Well, it might not be that interesting. It's 1-1.
Probably when he was in school and he couldn't erase his pen. He wanted to cheat, so he had to use a pencil. He's probably a golfer.
Could have been a golfer. Why don't they put erasers on those golf pencils, by the way?
Yeah. Well, they do. Some of them now.
2 balls and a strike. The NL West, the only division that hasn't had a world champion in the last 7 years. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Dodgers, Giants, and Rockies have gone a combined 111-78 against teams outside their division.
Well, the Dodgers, for the most part, have been the class of the National League this year. But I'm not so sure the Giants wouldn't be a tougher foe if you got them in the postseason.
They might be.
With that Lincecum-Kane 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
I mean, as I sit here today contemplating that scenario, if I'm the manager in the National League, I think I'd rather go up against the Dodgers in a short series.
Right. Well, you're not sure what Clayton Kershaw would do in a postseason game. Not sure what anybody would do for that matter, but you take your chances with Lincecum and Kane. Those 2 guys combined are 24-6 right now, with an ERA a little bit above 2. That is some kind of a 1-2 punch. They're both 12-3.
It's the formula the Astros used in 04 and 05. Great starting pitching. Where did I'm trying to see. I'll look it up here where the Astros finished in terms of runs scored in those seasons, but it couldn't have been very high.
No, it was not high at all. You're right. It was all about pitching. Good defensive play. Timely hitting. Keppinger hits it in the air, and Renteria goes back into left center field, calling for it.
Timely hitting is just really a nice way of saying just enough hitting.
Yeah, that's about it. Coming up later in our Dodge Grab Live feature, Carlos Lee tells us how he packs for road trips. Stay tuned. Alberto Quintero had a 3-for-3 game. 2-27 average. That was Saturday against St. Louis.
2005, the Astros finished 11th in the National League in runs scored. 16 teams in the NL. Astros finished 11th in 2005. And they went to the World Series.
Strike 1 to Q.
A little bit better in 04. They were 6th in the league in 04.
Okay. I remember them being that high that year. Quintero matched his career high with that 3-hit game Saturday at St. Louis. Paulino's on deck. It's 1-1. Sanchez is kind of all over the place, but
just has a hard time repeating his delivery, and really comes out of it early sometimes. And he really needs to stay back to get on top of that breaking ball because he's a little bit disadvantaged with his arm angle. There he gets a good one off there.
Okay.
Now, pitchers, the extreme example would be Sid Fernandez, if you remember Sid from way back when, how he really pushed the ball, and Sid had to be real slow, and then he kind of make sure he really got on top of that curveball because of a low arm angle.
Quintero strikes out. That's number 3 for Sanchez, and he has 2 no-hit innings under his belt here and a 2-0 lead.
Here at Minute Maid, you want to come out and catch the Astros battle the Brewers on Saturday at 6:05. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Craig Biggio t-shirt courtesy of Gallery Furniture. So you get a Biggio tee and you get to watch the Astros in a National League Central battle. All those games are big. For more information and tickets, go to Astros.com. I'm up here in the press box sitting next to Greg Lucas, who's manning the Twitter keyboard. What's the big story?
Well, as far as the batting stance guy, disparate guesses. One is a Giant, or was, and the other one an Astro. I don't think they're too similar, and I can't give them the answer because I don't know. I didn't see it on the pregame, but I'm guessing it's probably, just guessing, it's the Giant guy, but I don't know.
It's your guess.
Tell them in the postgame show.
I recuse myself because I do know the answer. Brownie, back to you.
Well, this is very important stuff if you're recusing yourself. Thank you, Judge Ennis. And there's a strikeout, and Sandoval is down for out number 1. First strikeout for Paulino.
Yeah, good start here to the third. The first and second have not gone all that well for Felipe, so needs to get things in order. The breaking ball down out of the zone. Sandoval, big high leg kick, gets it started, can't stop it.
Benji Molina sent a run home with a double to left center field in the first inning. Benji headed for free agency at the end of this season. There's ball 1. He's had some very good years in his career. Came up with the Angels. Line to left field. He is 2 for 2 tonight. So Molina, who was not moved out of the cleanup spot, is waking up for Bruce Bochy in this game.
Quick path to the baseball there. Short stroke.
Molina's not a threat to steal.
East Coast holding him on over there. You don't really need to. But if Garco doesn't hit the ball on the ground to the right side, then you might as well tighten him up. If you don't hold him on, he gets a bigger lead, bigger jump, makes it easier to score on a double or break up a potential force play at second base.
Garco, a ball that Michael Bourne caught on the run in the first inning.
Yeah, Astros, with their advanced scouting and all the information they have, they'll have a spray chart on Garco, and if it indicated that he hit the ball on the ground to the right side a lot, they would probably have Coast playing behind Molina.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Change up.
Rally foul, and Tim Flannery tosses that up to a fan. 1-2 the count. Tim comes to Houston about once a year in the winter. He's quite a singer and entertainer.
He's got a band. He's going to send up his latest CD tomorrow.
Oh, good, good.
He's played the Mucky Duck here in town before. He's played with Jackson Brown and Jimmy Buffett, among others.
Yeah, he's got a really nice sound. Hit by the pitch there. Garco caught it around the left elbow or just above. And now Paulino has runners at first and second for Randy Wynn.
Good thing Garco's wearing that elbow pad.
That'll be Sounds of the Game Day tomorrow, so a perfect time to have that Tim Flannery soundtrack. Dave Clark will be wearing the mic tomorrow. Randy Wynn single to right and scored in the second inning. 2-0 Giants. Taps this one, third base side, looks like trouble, and it is an infield roller for a hit for Wynn. Bases loaded now, 1 out for Rowan. Bad things are happening to Paulino.
Right, and the key here is when bad stuff starts to happen, his tendency is to try to overpower the hitters. And again, in so doing, he loses command. You just have to kind of go back to square one. Think about making quality pitches. Don't try to throw your way out of trouble. Got a situation with the bases loaded. Hitters tend to be a little aggressive, trying to drive in, get big runs. You can get them to chase your pitch.
Good time to tie your shoe, in fact.
Yeah, tie your shoe, take a breather, think it over, don't panic. Always cognizant of the fact that you're 1 pitch away from getting out of it.
And Rowan is a guy who's grounded into 9 double plays this year. Bases loaded, 1 out for Rowan. He grounded out first time up. And there's strike 1 to Rowan.
And got right in on the hands of Rowan with a fastball last time.
Renteria on deck. Rowan bounces this one foul. It's 0-2. Nicholas Jacques Conte invented the modern pencil lead at the request of another French gentleman, because the French Republic at that time was under economic blockade and unable to obtain graphite import from Great Britain.
Oh.
So that's when that pencil was created. They mixed powdered graphite with clay. Bouncer first base, by coast up the right field line, scoring Molina, and now Garco coming to the plate. And the Giants open up a 4-0 lead on Rowan's opposite field 2-run single on an 0-2 pitch.
And Paulino, not having a great night, but he's not having much luck either. I mean, he throws 2 real good curveballs to get ahead of him, and then jams him with a fastball. So it's good pitching, bad result. Got a ground ball. He was late on the fastball, got it in on him. And gave up a weak little hit to win, and then that one off the bat of Rowan, despite making some pretty good pitches.
There's some stirring now in the Astros bullpen. Nobody throwing yet. Renteria the batter. Renteria single to left in the second inning. That's 7 Giant hits. Wesley Wright begins to throw for Houston. Tejada with a flip. Matsui on to coast. 6-4-3 double play. Number 115 for the Astros. Giants come up with 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave a man. It's 4-0 San Francisco in the third. brought to you by Geico and by the Ford F-150. Downtown Houston, the scene of this ball game. Jonathan Sanchez and the Giants have a 4-0 lead. The Astros coming up in the third inning. With Paulino to lead it off, to be followed by Bourne and Matsui against the lefty Sanchez, who has walked 2 and fanned 3 in the first 2. Paulino 1 for 14 this season. And he has replaced Sammy Hervasio on the roster tonight. Hervasio was optioned back to Round Rock after the game last night to get Paulino onto the 25-man roster.
Sammy, we hardly knew ye.
Yeah, he didn't get to pitch in a game.
He'll be back.
Probably will. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the breaking pitch works for 1-2 for Paulino, and then a strikeout, and that takes care of strikeout number 4. Our Texas Ford dealers, league leaders tonight, will show you the Major League Baseball saves leaders since 2000. Jose Valverde is 4th with 104 behind K-Rod, Joe Nathan, and Jonathan Papelbon. 1 out in the home third inning. That was since 07 rather, and it's Michael Bourne batting. Valverde got another one last night. Bourne bunts and fouls it. There's strike 1. Michael drew a walk, stole a base, advanced as far as third in the first inning. Congratulations to Wandy Rodriguez, who was voted National League Pitcher of the Month for July.
And he gets a nice TV for that. I thought it was just a nice timepiece.
That's some incentive to be Pitcher of the Month.
A Sharp Aquas HD television. By golly, he earned it. 4-0, 0.75 ERA.
Lowest ERA an Astro pitcher has ever had in July. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Michael Bourne.
So I wonder what the lowest ERA an Astro pitcher has ever had in any month.
Oh, it's got to be 0 probably. Well, maybe not that low. Strikeout number 5 for Sanchez. And he's just breezing along.
And again, here's the challenge. What happens is the Giants put 4 runs on the board. They've been relatively long innings, and mentally it takes the players out of the game a little bit. You can't afford to give away at bats. You got to maintain your focus against a guy like Sanchez, because if you start to expand the zone, you've got no chance. If you start chasing that high fastball, he's going to eat you up. So imagine Sean Barry's down there in that dugout trying to rally the troops. Come on, boys, good at bats. Make sure you get strikes. Make him get that fastball down.
Batting average against Sanchez is .230. Towering pop. And Torria moves in after going back on the grass. And in the third inning, Sanchez continues a bid for another no-hitter. It's 4-0. Giants after 3. Up with Jonathan Sanchez, just thinking about the Pirates because we're going to talk about them in a moment. Sanchez put down a sac bunt. His first time up, taking strike one there. And he's late on that one.
Evil intentions with that swing, Mr. Sanchez.
Let it go.
He's 0 for the season so far, so he figures swing hard in case you hit it.
Molino missing, and the count goes to 1-2. The Giants have collected 7 hits so far, scoring 4 runs, leaving 4 men on base.
I wonder if Jonathan Sanchez is the only big leaguer ever from Ohio Dominican College.
Can't think of another one. He struck him out. That's number 2 for Paulino. The Astros will be playing Milwaukee here this weekend. They're tied with the Brewers right now for 3rd place in the NL Central. And the Astros have really struggled within the NL Central, but they're 19-9, as Jack in the Box standing shows you. Within the NL West, they have the best record of any NL Central team. Cardinals are 10-11. The other clubs in the NL Central also below 500 against the teams in the West. Velez smacks a ground ball single into right center field. He continues to rip the ball. He's now 2 for 3 in this game. That's hit number 8, and Freddie Sanchez will follow. Sanchez 0 for 2. Looking at the Astros record within the NL Central, that's where they seem to have the biggest problem. They're 22-29 within the division. Every other team in the NL Central of the top 4, including Milwaukee, has a winning record. Cincinnati in 5th place is only 1 game below 500 in the division. Fly ball behind second base. Michael Bourne there. And he throws back to first. Velez returning. 2 outs.
They have to work on their divisional play.
Well, they'll get a chance to do that starting Friday night with Milwaukee in town.
Divisional strategy has been lacking.
Aflac trivia. Name the 4 Braves starters to finish in the top 10 in starter ERA in 1997.
I have to recuse myself from this one. I will let the people at home work on this one anyway. Get your pen and pencil out. It was not Warren Spahn, I'll give you that.
Sandoval, broken bat, and the ball goes out towards center field for a single. Velez running hard to third base on a Sandoval hit. With first and third now, 2 outs. That bat shattering.
Yeah, that was dangerous. That bat had been flying out all the way to first base. And if you're Chris Coase, your eyes are going to follow the ball. Unfortunately, that ball, the bat head lands in between Chris and first base coach Roberto Kelly. Kung Fu Panda can really swing the bat. He's an interesting guy. He's ambidextrous. Naturally throws left-handed, and as a kid, he decided he wanted to emulate Omar Vizquel. So he taught himself to throw right-handed. He wanted to play the infield or maybe catch. And they say he throws equally well with both hands. So he took a ball from home plate, and he plays right-handed. He took a ball at home plate at AT&T Park and threw it over the wall left-handed.
Wow. He has the 2nd highest batting average by a switch hitter in the National League this year. Only Carlos Beltran, who's been injured for weeks from the Mets, has a higher one. Wesley Wright warming up. Molina is 2 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. And looks at ball 1. So Paulino has given up 9 hits so far. He's walked a batter, hit a batter, constant traffic for the Giants. Worked from the stretch all night long. Molina rolls over on one, ground ball foul at third. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brian Moeller goes tomorrow. It's a 105 start for Brian against the Giants. And Joe Martinez. Darren Erstad is starting his rehab outing tonight with AA Corpus Christi at San Antonio. He'll also play tomorrow night for the Hooks. Thursday is a scheduled off day for the Astros. He could be back Friday. Quintero blocks that one out in front. 2 balls, 1 strike. Darren coming back from a left hamstring injury. Aaron Boone is waiting to find out the specifics of his injury rehab assignment, which is targeted for next Monday. He could have as many as 20 days on that injury rehab assignment in the minor leagues.
Remember how we said that Sanchez was an unlikely candidate for a no-hitter?
Yeah.
Yusmeiro Petit. He's got 7 no-hit innings tonight.
Does he really?
For the Diamondbacks.
There's another unlikely candidate.
He's 1-5 with an ERA of 5.9, 1 at 6 something going into this game.
Wow. Fly ball, shallow in center field. Michael Bourne coming in and calling. And he takes care of the final out. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left for the Giants. They lead it 4-0 in the 4th. In the top 10 in ERA, 1997. Maddox, Clevin, Smoltz, and Nagel.
And Nagel would be the only one that would have crossed anybody up, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Immediately you would think of the big 3. Seemed like they always, those 3 together for so long, and for a while they had Steve Avery was in the mix, then Denny Nagel came along.
Right here, Jonathan Sanchez has 4 no-hit innings under his belt, 3 no-hit innings under his belt. He's going to the 4th inning. Pensley and Tejada. He has walked a couple, both those in the 1st inning. The Astros had runners at 1st and 3rd when they got Tejada for the final out. Hunter Pence hit the first pitch on the ground to second base in that 1st inning. Mike Hampton, winning last night, went to 16-4 lifetime against the Giants. 800 career winning percentage for Mike, 2nd of all time against the San Francisco Giants. Bob Welch, the only pitcher who did better, 19-4, 826.
Bob Ebony Eyes Welch.
Yeah. Broken bat roller, a hit for Hunter Pence. Another infield hit for Hunter. Found a good spot for that one, and that is hit number 1 for the Astros tonight. That's how tough it is to pitch a no-hitter.
Well, turnabout fair play. The Giants have had 2 or 3 pretty soft hits. Now this one, kind of a meek ground ball between 3rd and short. And Correa realizing no chance to get Pence. Doesn't make an ill-advised throw because he's a smart veteran player. And he's got a little brace on his elbow. His elbow's probably barking too.
Yeah. Carlos lead for an intentional walk in the 1st inning. Yusmeiro Petit with that 6-0 lead, working the bottom of the 8th in Pittsburgh. Trying to get his no-hitter. Lee takes ball one. Tejada on deck. The Astros trying to shake it up here with Sanchez cruising along with a 4-0 lead. The Giants already having collected 9 hits tonight.
Very similar to last night's game. The Giants did a lot of hitting early. Mike was able to limit the damage to just a couple of runs. But very similar start. We're getting dominant pitching from Matt Cain. Sanchez in control so far tonight.
Giants blasted the Astros 13-0 and 9-0 in San Francisco.
If you look at the numbers, you'd rather be down 4-0 to Sanchez than 2-0 to Cain. They were just trying to handicap it.
True. Cain threw the ball well last night. Complete game. 2 balls and a strike. Giants riding the starting pitching. The best ERA, 3.53 of any starting pitching group in the league. They're second in innings pitched with 647. Their starters already have 45 wins. They had 47 all of last year when the Giants were 72 and 90. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Framed it.
Reminds you a little bit of Oliver Perez.
Yeah.
Similar delivery, similar issues with control. Although Sanchez has a little bit better handle on things than Oliver Perez does this year. Last couple of years, Oliver has really struggled. Talented guy.
Jonathan Sanchez was a 27th round draft choice in 04. Cost the Giants $2,500 to sign him. He was 9-12 last season with a 5.01 ERA. Runner going, swing and a miss. Molina with a throw and out is a call. Strikeout, throw out, double play from 2-4.
It's ironic. You start the runner to stay out of the double play on a ground ball, and you end up with a double play with a swing and a miss. Modest lead, and Hunter just counting on ball 4 or contact there.
Now 2 outs and Tejada batting. Strike to Miggy. Hunter now is 10 for 18 in stolen bases. Molina throwing out his 19th base runner. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Astros had been 5 for 5 in steals against the Giants until that one. Twins are having a field day at Cleveland, leading 9-0 at the end of 7. Scott Baker on the mound. It's a 2-1 count. Jason Kubel hit his 19th. Carlos Gomez, a 3-run shot, number 3, but his offense doesn't matter as much as his defensive play to Ron Gardenhire. Now the Pirates have come up with a hit in the bottom of the 8th inning off Yusmeiro Petit. That one's outside the left field line, back into the seats. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Giants have just this one city on their road trip, just 3 games, and right back home again. Long way to go for 3 games.
Yeah, but it would be rude not to come if invited.
Foul back, 2-2. They've lost 3 straight road series now. They love to go back home having won one, and Sanchez has dropped 9 straight starts on the road going back to last year.
What he should have done for this series is peel back the roof. They're used to playing in 55 degrees out there in San Francisco. They just cooked them.
Yeah. Doug Brocail is throwing for Houston now. Swing and a pitch in the dirt and a strikeout. That's number 6. And 1 hit through 4 for Sanchez. It's 4-0. AT&T, by the MD Anderson Cancer Center, and by Dodge. Giants 4, Astros nothing. Felipe Paulino working to Ryan Garco, who's fly to center and hit by a pitch. That's in the air and being chased by Chris Coast and Humberto Quintero, and Coast takes care of it. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 5th for Paulino. Now here's Bart Ennis.
All right, Brownie, it's time for our progressive fan of the game. And, of course, this is the 219th birthday of the Coast Guard. And I happen to have that with me, the new commander of the 8th Coast Guard District, Rear Admiral Mary Landry. Welcome and happy birthday to the Coast Guard.
Thank you. We appreciate that salutation. Thank you.
What kind of special events have you guys been doing for the anniversary?
Well, we were talking, there are things going on around the country. We're celebrating. I mean, there's still people out there doing the mission every day. We got people out on the water, on land, in the air, you know, trying to save lives and stop drugs and stuff. But we try to take time out to have a little morale event. This is the morale event for the sector Houston-Galveston area. We have active duty, retirees, people that came out before the ball game. We had a nice little picnic together and reminisced. I saw a guy I worked with 20 years ago.
That's great.
It was great.
Well, happy birthday to the Coast Guard and congratulations to Admiral Mary Landry for your new appointment, as well as being the progressive fan of the game.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Happy birthday, Coast Guard. Brownie, back to you.
Yeah, that's nice to acknowledge that. They do a lot of very important work for this country. Thank you, Bart. There's ball 2 rather, to Randy Wynn. Felipe Paulino has a 2-1 count. Wynn is 2 for 2 in this game. Now it's 3-1. Pitcher spot could come up. The Astros would need to get a man on base in the home 5th inning for that to happen. Doug Brocail's been warming up. There's a walk to Win. Second walk for Paulino tonight. He's also hit a batter. He'll face Rowan next. Louis Robinson on the phone to the bullpen. Rowan had the 2-run single in the 3rd. Bouncer by Chris Coase. Brocail working there. Quintero's going out to the mound. Ryan Moller will pitch tomorrow against the rookie Joe Martinez.
And buying a little time here. Coop's going to make the move.
Paulino with 89 pitches already has thrown 53 of them for strikes. A rough return to the rotation for him. And trailing 4-0, Cecil Cooper will make this move now to get Brocail in the game. We'll be right back.
up now. Don't miss our Spotlight series as we focus on Miguel Tejada. From a life of poverty in the Dominican Republic to the Major League All-Star game, we'll go back to his hometown, hear how he overcame every obstacle from hurricanes to the passing of his mother. Get in depth with us on Spotlight Miguel Tejada. That's tonight at 11. Or after the ball game, whichever comes first.
We recommend it to you. It's a fine program.
Fox Sports Houston.
Doug Brocail comes in now with 1 out and a runner at first base in the 5th inning, trailing 4-0 with those numbers in 9 games.
Broke starting to work his way back into the action after that long stint on the DL. He'll come in here and stick his finger in the dike and slow down these Giants.
Aaron Rowan moves back, and it's ball 1 to Rowan. Renteria on deck as Rowan bats here in the 5th inning. Brocail really tossing that ball in like it was a real softball toss from the mound.
It was a good one, too.
Yeah.
Good high arc and dropped it right on home plate.
Now, could he throw a pitch like that in a major league game, underhanded?
Sure, as long as he maintains contact with the rubber and does everything else within the rules.
Pass to Diamond Keppinger into the left field corner. Win around third. Tim Flannery sending him home. And it's 5-0 Giants. RBI double for Rowan. His 45th run batted in, third of the night, as Rowan picks up his 27th double.
Well, so much for that finger in the dike theory. Keppinger lays out, but to no avail. Tim Flannery, watch Flannery. He really gets after it. He's got as good a range as any third base coach in the league.
He backpedals well.
We'll take a good long look at that play.
Had a lot of third base in his day. Renteria now. There's ball 1. Felipe Paulino went 4 1/3 innings. He allowed 9 hits, 5 runs, walking 2, fanning 2, hitting a batter. 1 ball, no strike to Renteria, who singled in the 2nd. This one goes foul.
After that start he had in San Francisco and this one tonight, Felipe may want a no Giants clause in his contract for next year. Yeah, been rude to him.
They have. He's given up a total of 13 earned runs in 6 1/3 innings against them. Brocail worked twice in the Chicago series, Wednesday and Thursday. There's a strike there, and it's 1-2. Doug was rushed back from his injury rehab assignment to rejoin the Astros. Injuries to the bullpen. He worked in the 12-0 and 12-3 losses Wednesday and Thursday in Chicago. Threw a hitless inning in his 2nd outing there.
There was a college pitcher a number of years ago that used a windmill delivery.
Yeah. I don't remember seeing anybody actually throw underhand in a major league game, but it's probably happened.
Trying to find the argument for why you would do it. I mean, if you did it as a trick pitch, like once in a blue moon, maybe you could fool somebody with it.
Yeah.
I certainly couldn't throw it that hard from 60 feet 6 inches.
No.
And you wouldn't get the advantage of the angles like a submariner gets, or, extreme side armor.
Right. Jonathan Sanchez bats. There's strike 1.
But you could pitch every day.
Yeah.
Those fast pitch softball players, they pitch every day.
That would be a huge transition, though, for a fast pitch softball pitcher to throw underhand with a baseball.
See where we go in a 5-0 game in the 5th inning?
Well, 1 ball, 1 strike. Do you think it's conceivable that somebody could throw that hard with that type of delivery?
No, it would be. It would just be a trick pitch. It would be something you do. Well, you probably never going to see it. That would be the only way it would work. Or the hitter would be standing there frozen, going, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. Bouncer barehanded. Brocail. Now he chases it down. That's an infield hit for Sanchez. His first hit of the year. He was 1 for 24.
Well, he's eliminated himself from history because he could have been a guy who threw a no-hitter and went through the year without a hit. That would have been a really neat daily double. But he just ruined it. I'm going to guess 85% of the time when a pitcher tries to make a barehanded play or one of those behind-the-back plays and deflects it, you'd be better off leaving it alone because the middle infielder is going to make a play for you.
Yeah. Well, the way the play wound up, as Doug drew his arm back and then didn't throw, and the base runner Rowan was at third base. Now, that would have been interesting if he had rounded the bag and Brocail had run over and tagged him out. Velez has 2 hits tonight. He's 2 for 3 with an RBI. There's ball 1. Five runs on 11 hits for the Giants. The Rockies are winning 8-3 at the end of 8 in Philadelphia. Tejada goes to Matsui for the force play on Sanchez. The Giants come away with 1 fifth-inning run on 2 hits. They strand 2 to lead it 5-0.
Cancer Center in the state in 1991. The Astros turned their second triple play of the season, a 2-1 win over the Dodgers. Mike Sims, Ken Caminetti, and Andujar Cedeno getting it done. Sims playing right field. Not around the horn triple play, but a fly ball. Probably involved some bad base running.
Yeah, they must have. Sanchez with a 5-0 lead faces Coast leading off the home 5th inning. Coast took a breaking pitch for strike 3 in the 2nd inning. This one in the air outside first base. Garco over. Reaches in and snagged it. One pitch, 1 out for Sanchez.
Cheo's over there admonishing the fans on, come on, you got to be a little more aggressive here.
Don't let him go in there and get that ball. That's fair game.
Nice play. She is taking cover.
Yeah. Jeff Keppinger looks at ball 1. Keppinger popped short.
She's the anti-Bartman.
Garrett Atkins hit a 2-run homer for the Rockies, his 7th. Jimmy Rollins, number 12 for the Phillies tonight. 2 balls, no strikes. Phillies have had a real hold on the Rockies, but now it's 8-3 Rockies. Top of the 9th inning. Brad Lidge coming in a mop-up role with an ERA of 7.11. Phillies have taken 8 of their last 9 from the Rockies. 2 balls and a strike. The Giants, of course, would love to see the Phillies turn things around, but that's a huge deficit there. 5 runs. Foul away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Philly, that's nothing.
Well, that's true. In that ballpark, things can get exciting very quickly. The Phillies had a rough time at home. They were 13-22 through the end of June. Now they're 14-3 at Citizens Bank Park since then. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Regarding Lidge, though, the way he struggled this year, that makes it interesting. The Phillies think that maybe Brett Myers can help them out in relief later on this month. Not to say they're thinking of replacing the closer. Smashed into center field. Keppinger with hit number 2 for the Astros.
They should be thinking about replacing the closer, or at least have a plan B in place, because he has really struggled.
That's true. Yes. You know who else is in the mix right now for the New York Mets? Billy Wagner is pitching at A ball. He could be back next week for them.
Best swing of the day for the Astros right there. No surprise. Keppinger off a left-hander.
Quintero, the batter. Jason Michaels is on deck. Wesley Wright warming up in the bullpen. Strike 1 for Sanchez. We talked last night about the Giants' 1-2 punch of Lincecum and McCain, but who would be their 3rd starter in a playoff series? It would be this guy.
I asked Dave Righetti that very question, and he's just kind of what we talked about last night. Maybe whoever's hot, depending on the matchup, whether they're going to be, with this guy home or road. I mean, he's pitching well here tonight, but he's really struggled on the road, been very good at home. So I guess it may depend on where that 3rd game was. Barry Zito's been okay this year.
Yeah,
he improved over last year.
He's been good since the All-Star break.
He's been good since I dumped him off my fantasy team, basically. He was under the Deshays jinx for some time, and I let him out.
Well, he should thank you for that. He should be relieved of the pressure. To his right, Renteria going to second base. Now the relay to first in time by Sanchez. And that's 2 double plays in 2 innings for the Giants. The Astros have grounded into 106. It's 5-0 San Francisco. Packs for road trips.
This is regular stuff. I'm not a video game player. I'm just, when I go on the road, go to the ballpark, back to the hotel, probably, rent a movie in the hotel and just lay back.
Carlos Lee. Now the Astros have made a Verizon Wireless call to the bullpen. Matt Queta comes in at the same time in the double switch. He's batting ninth, playing first base. And Chris Coast has gone behind the plate for the first time as an Astro. Humberto Quintero coming out of the game after going 0 for 2. Wesley Wright slotting into the number 8 spot in the lineup is our Verizon Wireless call to the pen. Freddie Sanchez, the first man up against him. Swings at that first pitch, drives it. Carlos Lee back to left field, looking up. Freddie Sanchez bangs one above the archway. A long Freddie Sanchez homer on the first pitch from Wright makes it 6-0 Giants. That's number 7 for Sanchez.
Well, the first pitch that Chris Coast calls as a catcher for the Astros ends up a home run. It's like, come on, you gotta be kidding me. Give me a mulligan. Give me one.
It would be nice to have those in baseball. Especially a ball like that. That really smack. Sandoval now. He flares one. Matt Queta chasing. And it's foul and kicks up into the seats.
Giants just a swinging. They're up there hacking away. Good results. 12 hits now, 6 runs. They didn't get them to hit home runs, but they'll take them.
Yes, they will.
It's a lot of doubles. Be a good fit in that ballpark.
This fly ball heads for left field as well. The Giants go back to back with Sandoval hitting number 17. Giving him 65 runs batted in, and it's 7-0 Giants. Giants are next to last in homers in the National League.
He went down and got a breaking ball. Talk about using the lower body. A great shot. Ball going down to get that breaking pitch.
Now Molina. And they strike one. Giants do not do this very often. 68 home runs all season for them. This one goes to center. Michael Bourne back. One out. Doug Brocail in 2/3 of an inning allowed 2 hits, no runs, had no walks, 1 strikeout. Felipe Paulino 4 1/3, 9 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and a hit batter. Ryan Garco, the batter. Hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning, and he's 0 for 2 tonight. Wesley Wright brings it in. There's strike one from Wesley, who suffered from dehydration in Chicago.
Give you bad information, folks. Chris Coast has been behind the plate before for the Astros.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Not much. Just a couple innings.
Okay. That's right. Strike there. No balls and 2 strikes. Well, it's nice to have a guy who could be a 3rd catcher in situations requiring that, rather than put somebody back there who's never caught in a big league game.
Yeah, and a lot of times the 3rd catcher is just that, a guy who doesn't really have a whole lot of experience catching and just willing to throw the gear on and go back there. Maybe he's caught a few bullpens or did a little catching back in high school, but Coast is a catcher, so Astros have a little more flexibility than most in that regard.
Struck him out. Time for tonight's Geico quote, coming from legendary manager Leo DeRocher, talking about Willie Mays. He said, if I could, I'd marry him.
He could now in some states. Not all. And then Leo also said of Cesar Cedeno, he's the next Willie Mays.
Yeah. Randy Wynn is 2 for 2 with a walk. Matt Keita goes to first for the throw from Matsui. Back-to-back homers by Sanchez and Sandoval. The Giants lead to 7-0 in the sixth. Showing you Pablo Sandoval with a broken bat hit. That's where the barrel of the bat wound up flying. Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by Frost Brew at Coors Light. Now the Astros come up at the bottom of the sixth inning. Here is Matt Keita. Taking strike one from Jonathan Sanchez. 7-0 Giants. Keita batting for the first time. There's the new third baseman, Juan Uribe. Keita hitting .209, rips that one foul.
Heads up, folks.
That scatters the folks. That's that Giants dugout. Keita, as a right-handed batter, has just 5 at-bats this season. Among 43 total at-bats for the Astros with those numbers. He's 1 for 5 as a right-handed hitter. Michael Bourne is on deck. Jonathan Sanchez has doled out 2 hits. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sanchez's father was on hand for his no-hitter. Very excited as they showed him in the stands at AT&T Park.
Yeah, that was fun.
It really was. Tap to first where Garco takes it. 1 out. Michael Bourne is next.
It was new third baseman Juan Uribe who had made the error that cost Sanchez the perfect game, and he had been moved. He'd been put into the game for defensive purposes. Ironically enough.
Yeah. Bourne drew a walk, stole a base, and then he struck out. Have you heard of a thing about managers not making defensive changes when a no-hitter's in progress?
I have not.
Well, they were talking about that during the description of the perfect game that was pitched by the White Sox lefty this year. And they had made a change in center field. Center fielder made a great catch to rob a home run in that perfect game for Mark Burley.
Yeah, I think, you know, what was the score in the Burley game? Was it a close game or a blowout?
No, it wasn't. I think maybe 6-0, 7-0, something like that. We'll have to check on that.
So they're saying that they thought managers wouldn't make defensive changes just because of luck, like karma thing?
I guess, yeah. It seemed to be.
I'd want my best defenders out there if I was the pitcher.
That's right. I hadn't heard of that before.
I hadn't either.
But most managers wouldn't do it for that reason. Didn't want to change a combination.
Yeah, I don't think I agree with that one. Could you imagine if you were managing and you didn't make an obvious defensive switch and the ball dropped in or something like that because you got some lumbering outfielder who couldn't get to a ball?
No, that'd be hard to forgive yourself for that. 2 to Michael Bourne. He slaps that one to shortstop. Renteria with the throw. 2 outs, and here's Bart Ennis.
Well, Brownie, our next batter, Kaz Matsui, made fans awfully happy last night by bouncing a home run off the right field Chick-fil-A foul pole, and that's the deal. Anytime an Astros hitter bounces a home run off of either of the Chick-fil-A foul poles, fans for that game take that ticket stub to any Houston area Chick-fil-A for a free chicken sandwich. Kaz pulled it off last night, so fans left happy and hungry, Brownie.
Yeah, and they were enjoying those chicken sandwiches today, probably for lunch.
Do it again.
Wonder if he could do that again. He was totally unaware of it, by the way. But those people got chicken sandwiches. Greg Lucas interviewed him after the game. He was shocked to hear that. A very popular man around Houston after that swing of the bat.
I wonder how many people went into Chick-fil-A today and said, yeah, I lost my ticket, but I was at the game last night.
Yeah. That doesn't quite get it, folks. Oh, he turned his back on it, and that one sneaks behind second. Renteria will not get Matsui. He gets the infield hit. Sanchez had his back turned to the plate. That's hit number 3 for the Astros.
Get a good look at it here. Sanchez falls off to the third base side with his delivery. Caught in between. Not time to turn around and square up to make the play. Softly hit enough where Kaz able to beat Renteria to the bag. Beat the throw.
That score in that Mark Burley game was 5-0.
Yeah, I call bogus on that claim that managers wouldn't put their best defensive team in.
Yeah, I heard that. Hunter Pence 1 for 2, an infield hit to short. Rockies have knocked off the Phillies 8-3 in Philadelphia. So the Rockies, they could be on their way to their best ever road record. They typically have struggled away from Coors Field. This year they've been pretty good. Ball there. Uribe's left. He goes to second for the forced play on Matsui. No runs, a hit, a man stranded after 6. It's 7-0 Giants.
$10,000 kids 15 and under will receive an Astros back-to-school backpack courtesy of Kraft and HEB. After the game, kids run the bases. It's a Sunday tradition here. Astros.com or 1-877-9-ASTROS for your tickets.
Jason Michaels is the center fielder for the Astros in the leadoff spot. Michael Bourne leaving after going 0-2 with a walk. Aaron Rowan, the batter, in this 7-0 game. And there's strike one for Wesley Wright. Rowan driven in 3, going 2 for 3 tonight. Jason Michaels in center. Michael Bourne gives his legs a rest. Hasn't had much of a rest this year. Michael's played in 105 games. This is game number 107. 0-2. August can be a really tough month physically for these players. Many days off for a lot of clubs. Backhanded, Kappinger with a good throw to Keita takes care of out number 1 for Wesley Wright here in the 7th. And it's really a deciding month for a lot of teams whether they will be in the race or not. San Francisco and Houston 7-0 Giants. They got a run in the first, another in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the fifth, 2 in the 6th inning. Bill Brown and Jim Shays happy to have you with us tonight. Paulino the starter against Sanchez, and Felipe gave up the 2-out double in the first. Another single run in the third. Rolling with a 2-run single in the third. Then back-to-back homers off Wesley Wright in the 6th inning from Sanchez and Sandoval, giving the Giants a nice size lead here.
I don't remember the particular numbers, but I saw an article not too long ago showing that first place on August 1st, a pretty good indicator of reaching the postseason. High percentage of the time since league split into the 3 divisional format.
Yeah, it would have to be, I would think. August is kind of that separating month.
It surprised me that the number was as high as it was. There's still a lot of baseball to be played, but high percentage of the time teams in first on August 1 ended up going to the postseason. Of course, the wild card, real difference maker there.
Backhanded Matsui on the run. Excellent play. Renteria, 2 outs. And Romero saying last night he thinks Matsui is really better defensively this year than he was last. Plays like that, indicating.
Well, he might maybe physically just feeling a little bit better.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that his skills would have improved from one year to the next.
He thinks he's better on backhanded plays this year.
He generally doesn't like to backhand the ball. When he first came to the States, that was an issue. They really had to convince him. It was kind of a badge of honor in Japan not to have to go to the backhand side.
The shortstop Tejada goes out the pitcher Sanchez. That's 6 in a row for Wesley Wright. It's 7-0 Giants in the 7th. Felipe Paulino in 4 1/3 innings gave up 9 hits, 5 runs, all earned tonight. Aaron Rowan 2 for 4 with a double, 3 runs batted in. Sanchez and Sandoval went back-to-back with homers in the 6th off Wesley Wright. And Wynn 2 for 3 with the walk and 2 runs scored. So Jonathan Sanchez has had an opportunity to get all this run support and try to snap a 9-game road losing streak going back to last year. Coming into this game tonight, this season on the road, he was 0-8 with a 6.60 ERA, and those numbers have changed quite a bit with what he's done tonight.
And he's walked just 2, and he's got a lot of outs outside of the strike zone, and that's fairly typical when a team falls behind early and get a little hitterish, a little anxious at home plate, and they've offered at a lot of bad pitches tonight. Bad being a relative term.
Yeah.
From Sanchez's point of view, they've been just fine.
Yeah.
Why throw it in there if they're going to chase pitches out of the zone?
Carlos Lee looks at ball 1. He has walked intentionally and struck out. That one sails, and at 2 balls, no strikes. Diamondbacks beat the Pirates 6-0 on a 1-hitter. Yusmeiro Petit went the first 8 and got relief help.
Talk about an ill-fitting name. Petit is a big man.
He is a big guy. Wide shoulders, line drive left field. Velez over for the running catch.
Thought he got it. Maybe just a little bit off the end of the bat.
Yeah. Velez moves around well in the outfield.
Pitch out away, tried to yank it just off the end of the bat, missed the sweet spot by just a hair.
Velez tracked it down. That's 1 out. Now it's Miguel Tejada. He's flied to left and struck out. Diamondbacks got 2 homers from Ryan Roberts to give him 4.
Merrill Grande should be his name.
Yeah. To right center, Rowan looks out to the right fielder, Wynn. Wynn has it. 2 down. And now Chris Coast, who started out at first base, now has moved behind the plate. He's 0 for 2. Astros have named their minor league players of the month for July at AAA. Casey Daigle was the pitcher of the month for Round Rock. 5 saves and a 2.53 ERA for Daigle. Strike 1 to Chris Coast. He used to pitch for the Diamondbacks and then married the softball pitcher Jenny Finch.
Sign her.
Well,
get her to pitch Windmill.
Okay. Paid attendance tonight, 29,747. That'd be fun.
Call Casey up in September and have him bring Jenny along and put them both in the bullpen.
Well, she's pitched to major league hitters before in the off season. And they have a rough time hitting that softball. A lot bigger ball, but the pitcher's standing a lot closer too, and the speed is really up there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and of course the good softball pitchers can make that ball do all sorts of things.
You got your sinker, you got your upshoot, you got your inshoot.
Kat Osterman knows all about that. She's one of the best. Flared foul. Still 2-2 to Chris Coast. Ryan Bogusevic was named Offensive Player of the Month for Round Rock. And Jason Smith was Defensive Player of the Month. Also, Hunter Pence's RBI record for Corpus Christi of 95 in a season was broken last night. On the 3rd of August. Strikeout there, and that ends the 7th inning. Jonathan Sanchez strong tonight. He's given up 3 singles. That is strikeout number 8 for him, and he leads at 7-0. Here, meanwhile, they've played 9 in New York. St. Louis and the Mets are headed for the 10th, tied 7-7. Albert Pujols hit his 35th for the Cardinals. Ryan Ludwig, number 18. Wesley Wright works the 8th inning here, his 3rd inning of work. Velez leads it off. Velez is 2 for 4, an RBI single in the 2nd inning. Taps a foul for strike one. And the Chicago Cubs playing tonight on the road again. And the Cubbies were winning at last check. Let's see what they're doing. Oh, they won. Tom Gorzolani won for them at Cincinnati 6-3, beating Johnny Cueto. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Gorzolani fits into the Cubs rotation, gets a win, beating Cueto, Fukudome, and Derek Lee with his 22nd homered. And the Cubs hoping the Cardinals lose that game in New York. The Cubs would be leaders by 1 game if St. Louis loses. That could be a dogfight for a while. 1-2. In the West, the Dodgers have only 9 of their 27 games remaining on the road against teams with winning records. They have 6 games left, though, at San Francisco and 3 at Colorado. Look to left field. Liner bangs off the wall, barehanded. Here's the throw for Carlos Lee to second base. It's offline. Safe at second with a double. Velez, his 3rd hit of the night.
That kid really swinging it well. He's been red hot. The ball hit sharply off the wall. Well played by Carlos. Can't afford to lollygag if you're Velez. Don't want you too long now. You hope it gets out, but if not, you got to make it to second. Because El Caballo really knows how to play that wall.
It's 14 hits for the Giants. They drubbed the Astros 13-0 and 9-0 in the first 2 games at San Francisco. Now they lead 7-0. Ball 1 to Freddie Sanchez. Sanchez has a homer tonight in 4 trips. So the Giants now have outscored the Astros 33-11 in the season series. And yet, if they win this game and the Astros win tomorrow, they get a split in the season series. 2-0.
It's a good thing we're not bowling. No point for total pins.
Yeah. Washington beat Florida with 6 in the 8th, 6-4. Pico Calero, the loser. Ron Vallone won it.
Big rig.
Yeah.
Just keeps on trucking.
Walk for Sanchez. Our Mercedes E-Class attention assist of the game is the Astros double play in the 3rd inning. Renteria batting. There's Tejada shoveling. See the middle man on a 6-4-3.
Not many highlights for the home team tonight. Double play for the Giants. Strikeout, throw out, double play. An all-around tough night for the Astros, allowing 7 runs on 14 hits, managing just 3 hits themselves. If you're prepared to give up on Felipe Paulino, I've seen enough of that guy. He's not very good. Well, he's still young and on the job, still learning on the job. Greg Maddux, through his first 32 major league starts, was 8-18 with an ERA above 5.5. Sometimes you got to be patient.
Oh yeah. Usually the case with young pitching. Struggles. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Maddux was a much younger pitcher when he first came to the big leagues. He was 20 years of age when he broke in '86. Don't want to be in a hurry to give up on Paulino with that arm.
Ball loose in left field. No, not at all. Able to keep the ball down better and change speeds better. There's every chance he will be successful. Get some confidence going. 2 balls, 1 strike. He's pitched some good games this year. Coast is being called out now by Wesley Wright.
Here's a fun one on this date in baseball history. 1982, Joel Youngblood becomes the first major leaguer to get a base hit for 2 different teams in 2 different cities in the same day.
Yeah. He played a day game in Chicago, right? Got traded after the game. And then where did he go? Philadelphia for the night game?
Yeah, he got traded to the Expos, went to Philadelphia. He got the game-winning hit for the Mets in their win in Chicago.
Oh.
Jumped on a plane, flew to Philly, came into the 4th inning of that game, and later on got a single.
That's brutal to be traded after getting the game-winning hit.
You're our hero. Now get out of here.
Waldis Joaquin warming up in the bullpen. Still 2-2. But yeah, Joel came up with the Cincinnati Reds. He's anxious to play for whoever wanted him. That kind of an attitude. He got the nickname Yogi Youngblood in Cincinnati. Capinger to his left, throws to second. Matsui relays. Double play. Velez to third, 2 outs, and Molina will be coming up.
Why was Youngblood Yogi Youngblood?
Well, there was a game in Montreal, and Johnny Bench was, I think, started the game. Yeah, Johnny started the game, and it was a rout. And Bill Plummer was his backup. They put Bill in to catch, and he got into it with the umpire and got tossed out of the game. So Joel Youngblood had to go behind the plate and catch, and he had never caught before in a big league game. That's why they called him Yogi. Into left field, an RBI single by Molina. Molina with 3 hits tonight. Drives in his 2nd of the night and 55th of the year. 8-0 Giants on 15 hits.
And the Giant hitters continue to attack that first pitch.
Ryan Garco next. He's 0 for 3, hit by a pitch. Usually Wesley Wright does not stay in a game for 3 innings. There's strike 1. But the Astros bullpen pretty well strapped lately. So he tries to get through the 8th here and save somebody else for tomorrow afternoon's 1:05 start. Flared foul. No balls, 2 strikes. And the weekend, of course, not anything Cecil Cooper's going to worry about tomorrow. 36 pitches for Wesley Wright, but Roy Oswalt hoping to pitch this weekend, as is Wandy Rodriguez in that series against Milwaukee. Milwaukee playing later tonight at Los Angeles, tied with the Astros in the standings. And the loser of that series figures to need a furious month of August to get back in the race. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Not that 4 games out is that far. Tap to third, that one rolls foul. The Astros will go to Florida and Milwaukee on the next road trip. So those 2 series with the Brewers, with the Astros and Brewers tied right now, could be meaningful in the NL Central. On the other hand, they could kind of cancel each other out too. It depends on what everybody else does. Flared over third base and foul. A soft landing. Ryan Mattis came up from Double-A and made his debut with Baltimore, winning at Detroit 8-2. He had been lights out, and he was drafted, I believe, in the 1st round last year. Beat Jared Washburn in his debut for the Tigers.
I figured it had to be a rookie, number 86, out there on the out-of-town scoreboard pitching for Baltimore.
The Orioles are really going young now. Nick Markakis hit his 13th homer. Cesar is tourist number 2 in Baltimore's win at Detroit. Broken bat up the middle. Fielded by Tejada. The flip not in time. He did his best. But he was headed for the Astros bullpen, and it's an infield hit for Garco. His first hit of the night. All the Giants starters.
Everybody had at least one knock. Good try here by Miggy. That backhanded flip. Molina not a speedy guy at all, but hustling. Able to beat it, and it gets Garco a knock.
16 hits for the Giants. 2 men on for Randy Wynn. Wynn has 2 of those and a walk. Only strike 1.
This is also the anniversary of Dave Winfield killing a seagull in the outfield in Toronto. Warming up between innings when he was with the Yankees. Threw a ball to Bird. The Bird's supposed to move, and the Bird didn't. When he got hauled in by the OPP, had to post the $500 bond to get out.
That's crazy. But it happened. You're right. Giants high for hits in a game, 17 this year. Mattis was 7-0 at Double-A. Bowie with a 1.55 ERA before he came up and won that game tonight for Baltimore. 2 balls and a strike. He was the 4th pick overall in the 2008 draft. Strike makes it 2-2. Detroit had a 2-game lead over the White Sox coming into play today. White Sox are trailing 4-3 at home to the Angels in the bottom of the 7th inning. That's a third. Keppinger backhands, throws to second for the forced play to Matsui, and that forces Garco. In the 8th inning, the Giants come up with a run on 3 hits. They strand 2. They lead at 8-0. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Jonathan Sanchez leading 8-0, delivers to Jeff Keppinger. There's strike 1. Bottom of the 8th inning. Jeff Blum is on deck to pinch hit for Wesley Wright. Tim Burdock warming up in the Astros bullpen. Keppinger has 1 of 3 Houston singles. That was in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 2. Looks at that breaking pitch for a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Andrew Locke was the offensive player of the month for Corpus Christi, his third Offensive Player of the Month award for the Hooks. He was the one who broke Hunter Pence's RBI record for that club. Hit a grand slam last night. He has 99 runs batted in already. What a year for Andrew Locke. 2 balls and a strike for Keppinger. Yankees beat Toronto 5-3, a win for Andy Pettit.
Petit, Pettit. Good night for those guys.
He beat Roy Halladay. Halladay had a great career record against the Yankees. He's now 11-5. Line into center again. Keppinger is 2 for 3 in this game, and now that'll bring up the pinch hitter Blum. Sanchez has 1 complete game shutout this year. That, of course, is no hitter.
This is best outing since the no hitter. He's made 3 starts. One at Atlanta, one at Colorado, then home for the Phillies.
Blum 265, 6 homers, 35 runs batted in. Hit a big home run last night. For the first run, with the Giants leading 2-0, and Matt Cain on the mound, dealing him a low curveball on an 0-2 count. Blum golfed it out. He's hit 5 of his 6 homers since July 1st. And it's 2-0 to Jeff. Jeff 1 for 3 in the game last night. He's second on the club in second half homers. Carlos Lee has 5. Jeff hit 2 of his before the All-Star break. Strike makes it 2-1. Johnny Damon, Mark Teixeira, and Hideki Matsui all went deep for the Yankees. Teixeira has 27 now. It's been talked about by others, JD, but that public stance J.P. Ricciardi of Toronto took about entertaining offers for Roy Halladay really made it difficult on Halladay having to answer all those questions.
Yeah, has he said? I haven't read anything.
No, he hasn't said that he would do it differently, but
has Halladay complained about it?
No. Some people in some stories we're reading now think that Halladay has been most professional in staying away from criticism when he could be throwing some people under the bus. Not undeservedly so, but just for making things so public about his situation. It could have been done quietly. Could have shocked him without making that kind of a public statement that they would entertain offers, but they would have to be overwhelmed to deal it. 3-2 to Blum. Ball 4.
Well, I think a lot of times the players, given where they are in their contract, what their team is doing, how much money they're making, and just the vibe you hear around a club, you get a pretty good idea whether they're being shopped or not anyway.
Yeah.
I doubt that Halladay had that big of an issue with it. Probably just some speculation from observers.
Double switch. Ishikawa and a new pitcher. 8-0 Giants. Back in a moment.
MLB.com at Bat 2009. There you'll find play-by-play, video highlights, and live audio broadcasts. Visit Astros.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase. It's a handy little application. Listening to a little ball on my way home last night.
Very good. Travis Ishikawa at first base will be batting ninth with the double switch, and it's Justin Miller on the mound.
Justin Miller working for the 35th time. Boy, he's been good. 2-1, 2.11 ERA. Low batting average.
Matt Cata's the batter. Ball one. Grounded out in the 6th inning. He entered in the double switch. First base. Jason Michaels is on deck with the Astros trying to stir up trouble, trailing 8-0. Clevenger at second and Blum at first with nobody out in the Houston 8th. Miller falls behind. 2 balls, no strikes. Miller's retired 15 of the last 20 batters he's faced.
Let's go 8 in the 8th right here.
8 in the 8th.
8 in the 8th.
Something. Miller turns 32 later this month. Falls behind 3-0. He faced the Astros in San Francisco July 5th. Went 2 1/3, giving up 2 hits, no runs. That's a game in which Randy Johnson started and left with an injury.
He's a guy whose entire body is a tattoo. That's why he has to wear those sleeves. He just complained a few years ago.
Gets a call there, and it's 3-1. He's been a long man for the most part this year for the Giants. Been very good, pitching 2 innings or more in relief. Hit to center field. Rowan back. Grabs it, throws into second base. 1 out. Now Jason Michaels comes up. First time at the plate for Jason tonight. Hitting .195, 1 homer, 7 runs batted in. Got in defensively in the late innings last night. And he said he was going for that ball. Sandoval hit an RBI double in the 9th inning. It short hopped him and got away from him. And he thought he could catch it initially. Then the ball got up in the lights. Here's strike 1. Kazuo Matsui's on deck. Well, this stadium will be alive with a banquet Thursday night. Astros have players' wives throwing their annual gala for the Women's Center right here at the ballpark. No balls, 2 strikes. Jason's wife, Pamela, one of the co-chairs, along with Humberto Quintero's wife, Michelle. Strikeout for Miller. That's out number 2. It's Matsui coming up now. He's 1 for 3. The 20th annual Wives Gala.
They have raised millions of dollars over the years for the Houston Area Women's Center.
Interested in tickets, you can go on to astros.com/community.
Started back in '89, I think, right back when I was a player.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Matsui looks at ball 1.
Used to have it over at the Weston at the Galleria.
Yeah. By the way, and somebody was talking about. Of course, they got the usual live auction.
Scott Gertner Band is playing.
Yeah,
they're tight.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Isn't there a ball autographed by Babe Ruth among others?
I believe so. Yeah.
I've been hearing stories about that. Not only Babe Ruth, but I think even some non-baseball celebrities.
I think Joe Louis may be on that ball.
Yeah, Joe Louis. It's another one. Famous boxer. 2 balls and a strike. Ryan Moeller goes tomorrow. It's a 105 game. Joe Martinez going for the Giants. Coming back from a fractured skull. 3 balls, 1 strike.
When did he get the fractured skull?
He got it in April 9th. He was hit.
Was he with the big league club?
Yeah.
Or?
Mike Cameron hit him with a line drive. And I can't remember anybody trying to come back from that injury during the season.
What's the injury?
Fractured skull.
Wow. I don't know.
That's tough.
Wax didn't fracture his skull, did he? Did he take that one off the head?
No.
As far as we know, anyway.
3-2 outs. The runners go. There's a line drive to right field, and it's caught by Wynn. In the 8th inning, no runs ahead, 2 men left. We move to the 9th, 8-0 Giants. Eight to nothing, and he knows that. He's getting ready for Astros Live, presented by the MD Anderson Cancer Center. Kevin knows everything that's happened in this game. He and Allison Futter will have a complete recap of it for you. Cecil Cooper's post-game comments and player reaction. The answer to batting stance guy as well, all coming up after the game. They're getting all set. Meanwhile, Tim Burdack is warming up for the 9th inning. And it'll be Rowan, Renteria, and Ishikawa due up against him. He's 1-1 with a 3.47 ERA.
Wesley Wright hung in there for 3 innings, allowed 5 hits and 3 runs. Burdack hopefully can come in here and have a quick inning, not work too hard, stay fresh for tomorrow.
That's important in a game like this. Jonathan Sanchez in 7 innings allowed 4 hits, no runs. He walked 2 and fanned 8. Burdack delivers. There's strike 1 to Rowan. Rowan has a pair of hits and 3 runs batted in this game. Right-handed hitters are hitting 164 off Burdack with 12 hits and 73 at bats. It's 1-1. Wesley Wright, 3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs with a couple of homers from Sanchez and Sandoval. Then he settled down. Got 6 in a row before the Giants put together another run in the 8th inning. It's 1-2 for Tim Burdack. And Tim stretched it out in Chicago, as a lot of the Astros relievers have been doing recently, pitching more than the normal amount, as he went 2 2/3 last Thursday in the 12-3 loss to the Cubs. Fly ball to left. Carlos Lee now back. There's some white showing there on out number 1.
I've got a bonus trivia question for you fans. Michael Bourne leads the National League in stolen bases. Can you name the only Astro to ever lead the league in stolen bases?
Okay. Good question. When will you reveal your answer? In the bottom of the 9th?
Depends on how long the top of the ninth goes. Because if it goes too long, I'll forget that I even asked it.
All right, we'll have to remember to get that answer from you then. Edgar Renteria looks at ball one. He's 1 for 4.
I was asked this question today by Chuck Poole, who's working next door with the Giant broadcasters, and after about 5 guesses, all wrong, he said no. There's a little bit of a tricky angle to it.
Aha. Well, Phil Boudreau, there's Chuck Poole.
Alongside Dwayne Kuiper and Bip Roberts. Bip over there doing a little analysis, filling in for Mike Krukow, who's on vacation.
Bip was a good base stealer.
Yeah, good player. Didn't Bip have 10 hits in a row or reach base 14 times or something crazy?
He did. He was with the Padres. Sure did. They look like they're having a good time over there. That's ball 4 to Renteria.
They do. They have a good time. Kuiper, every time he comes to town, he harasses Milo.
Well, Phil Boudreau has written down his guess.
All right.
And the guy he's written down was a teammate of yours.
Well, the correct answer was a teammate of mine.
Okay. And now it gets interesting.
Not when the record was established, though.
Oh. All right. Well, it's not that guy then. We've got to go back to work. Travis Ishikawa was strike 1. Ishikawa, up for the first time, is hitting .273, has 7 homers, 30 runs batted in. He's had 227 at bats.
Group from Methodist Hospital out here tonight down there in those powder blue T-shirts behind the plate. Brian and Shannon Wing have a group out.
They've been out here before with that group. Yeah. 1-1.
They're hanging in there.
Nice seats. Burdak gets a swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. So this guy was a teammate of yours, but not when you set the record. This is getting interesting. You think about Astros base stealers. We were talking last night about Cesar Cedeno, or the other day about him anyway.
He was my first guess.
Yeah. He didn't do it, huh?
Nope.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Now Phil Boudreau has a secondary guess. You want to know what his first guess was?
Yeah.
Gerald Young.
That was one of my first 2 or 3 guesses, and I was wrong.
Okay. His secondary guess is Brian Hutter.
Wrong.
Ooh, even Phil is going to have to reach deep into the well for this one.
We have a Yeldon guess. That is incorrect. We'll just end the mystery right now.
Yes.
Alex
is number 7. How about that?
Greg Biggio in the strike short 1994 season stole 39 bases.
Well,
to lead the league.
Yeah. Okay, you could have fooled a lot of people with that one. So just tuck that away. We'll use it again.
Yeah.
So the strike shortened year, but nobody in a full season has ever done it for the Astros. Led the league in steals.
On the is Yeldon or G-Man has the club record. 67 or
I believe it's G-Man. We're going to check on that though. 2 balls, no strikes. Velez with 3 hits tonight has driven in a run and scored 1. Now the Red Sox and Rays are tied 2-2. Yankees and Red Sox battling for that lead in the AL East. Yankees leading by a half game before they won tonight. The Red Sox are in the top of the 10th, 2-2 with the Rays. John Lester started, and so did Matt Garza. Kevin Youkilis hit his 20th. Dustin Pedroia number 7, and Evan Longoria number 22. Gerald Young stole 65 in 1988. That's the tops for an Astro in one season. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Boy, he came up and he was electric. All those infield hits and stolen bases, and the way he ran balls down at center field. The wide open spaces of the Astrodome. Took a lot of extra base hits away. Strikeout of Velez. In the 9th inning. It's no runs, no hits, and a man left. 8-0 Giants. By the Ford F-150 and by Budweiser. It is 8-0. The Giants have 16 hits. The Astros have 4. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. And Miller worked a 1-2-3 8th after coming in with 2 men on base with a strikeout. Justin Miller out of the game now. And here's a major league debut for Waldis Joaquin, up from Double-A Norwich, where he was 4-5 with a 2.67 ERA.
Well, last year, split time between 2 A-ball clubs, Augusta and San Jose, South Atlantic League and the Cal League. Just 22 years of age. Turned 23 on Christmas Day. Waldis Joaquin. That he's not hooked up with Wandy. We can have Wandy and Waldis.
We could
getting after it.
Just leave the premises if we had that kind of a tongue twister. Hunter Pence leads it off in the home 9th inning. The last time the Astros scored 8 or more runs in an inning was against the Giants, August 12th last year.
Searching for a little karma.
Yeah. Well, Hunter takes ball 1 at 97. First major league pitch for Waldis Joaquin, who signed as a free agent in 03. 6'2", his listed weight is 235. He was a hot hand at Double-A Connecticut. Roller to shortstop, fielded by Renteria. 1 out. Time now for our Texaco star performer of the game, Jonathan Sanchez. 7 sparkling innings, allowing 4 singles.
And got that early lead, and that really helped him out. The Astros willing to expand the strike zone, trying to do some damage against him. He's tough to hit, though. I mean, coming into this game, the league was hitting just .230 against him. That riding fastball.
Carlos lead, broken bat liner left field. Velez in, it gets by him. Carlos heads for second base. Velez back to the wall, and Carlos checks in. Hit number 5 for the Astros, his 21st double of the year.
Here's the beginning. About 9 more of those and we're in business. Came up empty, but pitcher's got to appreciate the effort. Laying out like that, trying to make a play for him in an 8-0 ball game.
First extra base hit by an Astro tonight. Hit number 5. Velez tried for it. That's going to be Tejada. Tejada's 0 for 3. Waldis is well rested. He hasn't pitched since last Tuesday night. 2 scoreless innings against Bowie. Ball one.
How many pitches today has Molina caught reaching behind him?
Boy, a bunch.
It's hard throwers that are a little bit wild. Have to ice his catching shoulder. Normally you think about throwing some ice on the throwing arm.
Going to need a day off tomorrow.
Power sinky there at 97.
Good looking pitch. 1-1 to count. Cardinals got 5 in the 10th and beat the Mets 12-7. Kyle McClellan won that one, beating Pedro Feliciano. Pujols hit his second homer of the night in that 10th inning and 36th of the year. Shot into center field. Carlos around third. Dave Clark's going to hold him there. Rowan with a throw to the plate. Cut off. Single for Tejada. Hit number 139. And it's first and third and one out.
The fans are actually booing Dave Clark for holding Carlos Lee at third base in an 8-0 ball game.
They wanted to boo something.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get any points for not being shut out, and you can't afford. I mean, the likelihood to come back in this game is about 1 in 9 trillion. But still, you have to play it that way for the third base coach.
Yeah.
You're not going to run into an out in an 8-0 game.
Off by Ishikawa. Now Chris Coase with strike one. He's 0 for 3. Aldis Joaquin pitched for Netherlands in the WBC in 06. Not sure what the connection is there. He was born in the Dominican Republic.
Well, sometimes you're going to play a little loose with those rules to fill out the rosters.
Yes. On to third is fair. Off balance throw to second in time for one. Then a run scores. Safe at first. No shutout for the Giants tonight. Carlos Lee steps on the home plate to make it 8-1, and Coase gets his 14th run batted in.
Fans are ecstatic over that one run.
Want to be shut out.
Train's blowing the whistle. The music's playing.
Uribe with the throw. Sanchez did everything he can do, but it's not a game-ending double play.
There's one guy in the league you double up on that ball, and he's the man catching right now.
Yeah. Capiture just took ball one. He has 2 singles tonight. Atlanta 1, San Diego 1 at the end of 3 in San Diego. Will Venable hit his 5th. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And I don't mean to dog Benji Molina. He's a good player. He's just not a very fast runner.
Dodgers got 4 in the first off Milwaukee and lead 4-0 now in the top of the third at home. Strike makes it 1-2. See, Manny Parra started last night.
Yeah, pitched well. Bullpen wobbled a little bit. They had to hang on for dear life to close out the Dodgers. Had the bases loaded. Manny Ramirez flew out to end the ball game. 6-2 game turned into a 6-5 game in a hurry.
He should be working this weekend against the Astros. 2-2. There's the final scoreboard. Gallardo's pitching tonight. He gave up that 4-run first against Hiroki Kuroda. And that's it for this ball game as the Giants get even in the series at 1 game each, winning this one 8-1. Jonathan Sanchez with 7 shutout innings, going to 5-9, breaking his 9-game road losing streak. Final score: San Francisco 8, Houston 1. Stay tuned for Astros Live, presented by the MD Anderson Cancer Center, coming up next.